Welcome back to this week's high school football playoff report. George Watson with LoneStarVarsity.com. Going to take a look at this week's games in the playoffs, and we'll start off with the big one here, right here in Lubbock. Well, there's actually two big ones in Lubbock. We'll take a look at this first one. Friendship versus Denton Ryan, 7 o'clock Friday night at Lowry Field. Friendship getting the win of the flip of the coin. Finally, Brad Davis wins a coin flip for a change. I know he's kind of had some struggles here in the past, but he finally wins the flip. He gets a very talented Denton Ryan team to come out here. Folks, this Denton Ryan team is putting up some incredible numbers. Take a look at this. Quarterback Scotty Young is just a junior, already drawing some Division I looks. He has thrown for almost 4,000 yards, 3,995 yards, 60 touchdowns. That is 7 touchdowns shy of Graham Harrell's single-season touchdown pass mark he set his senior season at Ennis. They're also running the ball well with Jay Caitlin. He's about a 1,300-yard rusher. They have two 1,000-yard, two 1,200-yard receivers for Scott Young in his receiving corps. So they bring in some very talented offensive guys. Here's the problem. You remember what Tech was like back in about 02, 03 when they were all offense, no defense? They had to outscore people 50, 60, score 50, 60 points a game. That's what Denton Ryan has to do because their defense has given up almost 420 yards per game. Teams have run for 400 yards against them. Teams have thrown for 300 yards against them. There's no real explanation why. Coach Joey Florence said, if you can get a grip on it, let me know. Well, I can't get a grip on it, and I know he struggled with it as well. So that could bode well for Friendship's balance. Their offensive balance, be able to run the ball, able to throw the ball. They've shown that all year. That could be the key, but the key will be what Friendship's defense will be able to do against that Ryan offense. If they can slow them down, look for Friendship to get the victory on Friday night. Now, Friendship's home field is going to be occupied once again by those Muleshoe Mules, and I said it in the other segment. Just very impressed with the talent that Muleshoe has between Westwood, the receivers, Lanewood, the running back. But that defense is very, very physical, and they played physical against a Littlefield team, and they're going to have to do it again this weekend against a Clyde team that's been one of the best in the state all year long. Clyde down there in that district near Abilene has had a tough district as well with the likes of Cisco, guys like that. But coming up here and coming up against facing Muleshoe, I'm not sure they've faced a team like Muleshoe. I think the Mules will probably get this one. Look for them to advance to the state semifinals. Also on Friday, it's a rematch for Sundown as they get another shot at the Stratford team that beat them 44-10 in week 2 of the season, or week 1 of the season, up there in Canyon. It was a tough game for Sundown. They lost Durham in that game to injury. They had about a 14-point swing right before halftime that took a 17-10 lead or deficit into a 31-10 deficit, and they could have tied the game at that point, but that swing really made the difference for Stratford in that game. Now Sundown gets another shot at them, gets them this week up in Plainview at Greg Sherwood Memorial Bulldog Stadium. Also, in TAPS action on Friday night, Lubbock Christian back in the state semifinals for the first time since 2004 when they won the state title. They get the defending Division III state champion Waco Riker, and it'll be a tough game down there at Cisco Junior College at 6 p.m. on Friday. But LCHS, talking to their kids, talking to the players, they're hungry. They're looking to upset Waco Riker. They feel like they're the underdogs, even though they're 10-1. Waco Riker is sitting there at 8-4. But they say, Riker's the defending champion. Until somebody knocks them off, they're going to be the state champion. But the way that the Eagles are talking this week, looks like they're going to be the ones that may have that best shot at knocking off Waco Riker and getting back into the state championship game. Now on Saturday, a couple of key games. Idalou, the way they're playing, they keep rolling. They've got another trip south. Down, they face the Brady Bulldogs. Interesting side note here, one of the assistant basketball coaches at Idalou, Reagan Jones, is the daughter of Brady's head coach, Glenn Jones. I know there was some joking this past week with Johnny Taylor about him expecting the scouting report on Brady, but a daughter's love is a daughter's love. I don't know if she'll go that far. I know she'll be sitting in the stands rooting for Idalou and rooting for the kids wearing the green, but I don't think she'll go so far as to give up her dad or give up any game plans. But the way the Idalou Wildcats are playing right now, they may not need it. They're running the ball well, they're throwing the ball well, and they're playing outstanding defense. They've allowed 7 points in each of their 2 playoff victories against Brady and against Alpine and against their last opponent this last week. So look for maybe the same thing against Brady this week. Finally, we'll see if the roll can continue for Roosevelt, but they get a very tough Cisco ball club that was in that same district with Clyde, and Cisco has been one of the top teams in the state all year long. Roosevelt is playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of confidence right now, but we'll see if they're able to match the talent level that Cisco is going to bring here in the third round. If the Eagles can do that, if they can package their emotion and make great plays and play mistake-free football, there's no reason why they can't advance past the second round. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come back next week. We'll give you all the recap of this week's playoffs games. We invite you to come back next week right here. Join me, George Watson, LoneStarVarsity.com, right here on the High School Football Playoff Report. Until next week, we'll see you later, everybody.